but we winning though. They used to laugh at us, now we winning though. They used to tell me never in my lifetime. I guess they wasn't in their right mind.
What's going on, folks? Welcome to a brand new exciting episode of Strong Arm Sports Podcast. It's NBA free agency frenzy, bro.
Insane,
you know that?
bruh.
Insane. It is crazy. Man, if this happens to be the first time you guys are watching or listening to the show, first of all, welcome. Come in, get comfortable, sit back, relax. We got you. I'm one half of the show. I go by the name of K Spade, the prospect.
And I'm your boy, LeParis57, and together we form Strong Arm Sports Spade.
Yes, sir.
Now I know this is the NBA free agency frenzy show.
Yep.
But Spade, I gotta touch on something else before we get started, bro. I gotta touch on something else. It's been weighing on my heart, Spade.
But the show ain't even started. The show ain't even started.
I want to kick a whole damn sport in the teeth.
Oh,
Spade,
wow.
Saturday night, if you guys didn't know, Spade, I don't know if you was tuned in. I know you was out with your beautiful daughter celebrating her birthday.
Facts.
Spade, there was a boxing match on ESPN.
Yeah.
Pacquiao versus Jeff Horn. Manny Pacquiao versus Jeff Horn. If you guys did not see that fight, it was a pretty entertaining fight. Now, I've been on this show, me and Spade both been on this show calling boxing trash for as long as we've been doing this show.
Yeah,
boxing is trash. And if you ever had any thought that boxing wasn't trash, the verdict of Saturday night fight should show you guys that boxing is trash. Now, they was in Australia. The kid Pacquiao fought was from Australia, from down under. The dingo didn't eat his baby, but he was from down under, outback, Australian for beer. Like he was from down there.
It's Foster's,
whatever. He was from Australia, Spade. The bottom line is, I'm talking to Spade. Manny Pacquiao landed double the amount of punches. He landed more power punches. He hit a higher percentage of punches.
Right.
The dude only hit Manny, I think, 15% of the time of the times he threw punches, Spade.
Okay.
And that dude won the fight. He won the title from Manny Pacquiao. Now, Spade, it was another tidbit in that fight that they mentioned that I was like, oh, they said Manny Pacquiao hasn't knocked anybody out in 7 or 8 years. Right. Now, I don't know if you guys know, but there was some speculation out there, thrown out there by Floyd Mayweather, that Manny Pacquiao was on the juice.
Speak on it.
That he was on the juice. Now, I'm not saying he was or he wasn't, but for Manny Pacquiao, who was known to be putting the pieces on people, he had a high knockout rate, was knocking people out, was in some of the best fights, in some of the best fights that we've seen in boxing. Now all of a sudden Manny Pacquiao has lost that punching power. Now I've seen people on Twitter saying, I know I'm long-winded, but I've seen people on Twitter saying, well, Manny Pacquiao is older now. When you get older, you lose some of that. Manny Pacquiao now is a real religious guy. He don't really want to brutally hurt his opponent like that. He kind of was beating the jakes off of this guy. The dude in the 8th round, I think it was the 8th round, the ref, after the 8th round, the ref went over to his corner and told him, I'm going to stop this fight if you don't show me something. But the 8th round, Manny looked like he was trying to knock the guy out. Now, Spade, Manny Pacquiao said he wanted a rematch. Manny Pacquiao said that he's down for a rematch, and it seemed like it was already in the clause and everything, Spade. But boxing, to me, after that verdict, it looks fishy. A lot of people saying that the Jeff Horn guy got some home cooking. The judges was on his side. A lot of people are accusing the judges, saying they don't know anything about boxing. That's why they picked the guy. I don't know anything about that. What I do know is boxing is trash. I want people to stop supporting boxing because I don't want anybody to buy this Mayweather fight because boxing is trash. It's trash, Spade. And I get killed on Twitter by saying this, but boxing is trash. To me, it looked like this fight was fixed. Like, Spade.
Well, let me throw some rebuttal in there. I didn't see the fight.
Go ahead.
First of all, let me say this. I didn't see the fight. I did see some clips of the fight, and I know that clips, I can take clips of somebody getting dropped off in the NBA and through the power of editing, I can make it look like it was a damn good game. I can do that. I know in the past, boxing have rewarded the more aggressive fighter. look, I don't want to just deviate from the show and go off on this long tangent. I will remember I was so upset that, God, I can't think of the kid's name now, but they let Bernard Hopkins lose his belt to Jermaine Taylor in a fight that was just the way B-Hop would want it. If you ever saw Bernard Hopkins fight in his prime, the first 3 or 4 rounds, he didn't throw a lot of punches. He would let you wear yourself out. He'd kind of stick that neck out there. You know, B-Hop had that giraffe-looking neck. He'd stick that neck out there. And then toward the end of the fight, he would take over. And that's the same thing he did in the Jermaine Taylor fight, and he lost the belt. And I remember being upset about it because this man was a champ of a decade. He held a belt for a decade, and none of that right there meant anything to the judges. He didn't get the benefit of the doubt. They simply said Jermaine Taylor was more aggressive, and they took the belt from him. So if this guy was more aggressive, and it sounds like he was, I don't know. Once again, I didn't watch the fight. They interviewed the guy after the fight. I know old boy was not too happy. I can't think of his name. He wasn't too happy. And he asked the winner, he asked Horn if he felt like he deserved to win. He said he felt like he kept walking forward. He felt like he was the aggressor. That's, hey, if it went that way, it's just shocking to me that it was a unanimous decision. It wasn't a split decision. It was unanimous. So I didn't see the fight. I'm going to hold my criticism for it. I know in the past I felt like boxing and their rules of who was more aggressive, I felt like that screwed some people out of victories in the past. So I don't know. Bro, this just want to end an NBA show.
Yeah,
bro.
I just want to end it with this, Spade. I just want to end it with this. Jeff Horn definitely was the aggressor. The guy came to fight, and he fought. Like I said, the dude, it looked like in the 8th round he was going down. The dude definitely responded in the ninth. Say it again?
On some Rocky shit.
Yeah, he definitely responded in the later rounds after that 8th round. So I don't want to take nothing away from him. But I think Manny Pacquiao absolutely won that fight. And I think this just proves that is something wrong with boxing. Boxing this just proves it. It was on ESPN. Manny Pacquiao got $10 million for that, which is a nice purse, but he got $10 million for that, and his Jeff Horn got $500,000. And he won the belt.
Still work somewhere. He ain't even like a full-time boxer.
Spade, I just want to say, man, I think boxing is trash. I know people want to disagree with that. We can move on. If I'm Manny Pacquiao, I'm taking my $10 million and I'm going to sit my ass down. I wouldn't want to fight this guy again. And allegedly, I'm doing quote fingers over here, it's supposed to be back in Australia again. What Manny think gonna happen?
Wow.
Spade, let's move on. Let's start the show.
Can we talk NBA?
Yes,
Can we talk free agency?
NBA. Y'all know I'm sick because there's no NFL, so I had to get Untopic in here.
Sheesh.
But Spade, this is the NBA free agency frenzy show, and I want to start with a shocker. A shocker.
Go. This is what I want to talk about. Go.
Spade. Chris Paul was traded to Houston for everybody. Everybody got traded from Houston. Not James Harden, but Pat Bev, Decker. Houston, Lou Will. Houston traded everybody. Chris Paul is now a Houston Rocket. They did a sign and trade deal. Chris Paul still got his money. I think the word on the street is Chris Paul this could be like a 1-year joint. So if Chris Paul don't like it down there in Houston after this 1 year, he can opt out and get paid again. He can get paid again. So Spade.
Yes.
Chris Paul joins your boy the Beard.
Yes.
One question, Spade. Is this going to work? James Harden just led the league in assists at point guard for the Houston Rockets. But one, is this going to work down there in Houston with CP3 and your boy James Harden? And two, do you think Chris Paul should re-up and stay there?
Okay, let me go back. I'm going to answer all that. Let me go back. Folks, I want you to understand how much Houston gave up for what a lot of people view is a older, on the backside of his heel, downhill
prime
of his prime, point guard. All right?
Yeah.
Let me give you some names, y'all. Pat Bev.
Woo.
First team all defense.
Woo.
Lou Will. If he ain't the 6th man of the year every damn year, he's a candidate for it. He lost it this year to a teammate after the trade. Sam Decker, Montrezl Harrell, how you say this? Deron Hilliard, DeAndre Liggins, Kyle, whoever that is, a protected first-round pick, and cash. They gave all this up. My initial thought was, I don't like this. This don't make any sense to me. You just proved, and not me, because I was on board, but you just proved everybody else wrong with an experiment at James Harden at the 1. In this experiment, James Harden made himself a legitimate MVP candidate. He led the league in assists, and he took the team to the postseason.
Y'all know Spade love talk about some Harden.
I mean, let's just keep it what it is. James Harden, aside from his playoff yips, which I also called before it even happened, James Harden was nothing shy of exceptional this year. That man was amazing this year. He should have won MVP. The only reason why he didn't win MVP is because somebody else made history. Russell Westbrook was also phenomenal this year, and he made history. But getting back to the Rockets, you have this experiment. It goes well. In the first year of the experiment, I think you can say that's a pretty damn good start. If I told you to build anything, and in the first year of you building something, it did what the Rockets did this year, I think that's a great starting point to build on. You come back and blow it up for what's going to be perceived as a new experiment. Here's the dangers in it. You're going to move James Harden back off ball. No big deal. He's proved that he can do that. He's done that before. But James Harden is the type of player that he's not a spot-up catch-and-shoot guy. He needs the ball to do what he's great at. CP3 needs the ball to do what he's great at. And you're going to need some pieces. The offense that you built, you need pieces who can knock shots down. You need folks who can come off the bench and cook when James having one of his yips games or when he's tired or whatever. You need that Lou Will. You need that Pat Bev because CP3 is a pretty good defender. He's a pretty good defender, but he is undersized and he don't have the dog in him that Pat Bev got. You know what they say about James Harden and his defense. So you gave up probably your best, you gave up your best perimeter defender. You gave up one of your best off-the-bench scoring assets, and you just gave up a ton of other assets, a protected first-rounder, and cash. I think it's dumb as hell. I don't like it. I'm not even a Rockets fan. As a Harden fan, I don't like it. I don't know what you're saying to the face of your franchise. Look, we just gave you the keys to the car, and then the next year, give me your keys. Give me the keys back. I don't like what it's doing. I don't like it. I do want to say this, though, and this is just me being optimistic. I was super critical on D'Antoni. I didn't like that every time the Rockets did something well last season, everybody said, oh, it's D'Antoni, his system. D'Antoni's a genius. D'Antoni had left a sour taste in the mouths of a lot of franchises, the Knicks being one, the Lakers being one. He had just did something right, and here you go doing this. The only thing I can fathom is he want to prove to everybody that it is truly his genius. If he brings CP3 in, he moves Harden back off ball, and he cooks something up this year, I will be on the D'Antoni bandwagon. That's what it'll take to get me on his bandwagon. Now, LaParis, there is also a small possibility that they could acquire another all-star. You know I'm talking about Carmelo Anthony. First of all, I want to ask you how you feel about it, and then I want to go back and ask you, do your opinion change or stay the same if they get Melo? So how do you feel about this trade?
First and foremost, let me go to the CP3 trade. I don't get it. I don't understand it. And this is why I think it's really going to be like a one-year experiment. I still don't think, adding CP3 and giving away what you gave up, I still don't think that's enough to be Golden State. We'll touch on that later. I still don't think that's enough, though. I think if they add Melo, that's still not enough. They got to have CP3, James Harden, and Melo. I still don't think that's enough to be Golden State.
But wait.
With that being said,
I got to stop you for a minute.
Go ahead.
Do you like that better than Harden and these 7 guys, though? That's the question.
I think you would have to like it better because you would have to like that better because these are all-star caliber players. Like they didn't trade any all-star caliber player. That they traded away 7 guys, but none of them was all. Now I love Lou Will, and God knows I love Pat Bev.
Right.
God knows. First of all, Pat Bev walking around with the chain that I want. It costs about 30, 40 grand. I want that chain. But I love Pat Bev can play on my team any day. Any day. If we're in the park and it's give me Pat Bev. Because I know, one, Pat Bev going to play his hardest. And if it goes down, meaning it's about to be a fight, Pat Bev ain't running. Yeah. Pat Bev ain't running. So, yeah, Pat Bev can be on my... I love Pat Bev, but let's be honest. None of those guys are all-star caliber players, even though you hate to lose a first-team all-defensive player in Pat Bev. But with that being said, Spade, none of those guys are all-star caliber players. When you get CP3 and Melo, you got to like that better than what they gave away. But I still don't think that's enough. And that's why I think it's really a one-year joint. I think Chris Paul think Chris Paul was like, you know what, I can still get my bread, and if I don't think this is enough to beat Golden State, but maybe, so let's try this, and if it don't work, I can be out, and maybe, God forbid, we're going to touch on it later, but LeBron, it's funny that all of these guys can be able to opt out, not Melo, I think Melo got 2 or 3 years left, but Chris Paul and LeBron could possibly opt out and be free agents at the same time, and they could choose where they want to go. You know, LeBron always had this little inkling.
Maybe Wade.
I want to play with the banana boat boy, so we'll see how that work out.
I think Wade too.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Wade. Wade can sign a 1-year deal. Who knows what Chicago gonna do with Wade? It don't look like Wade. I don't know. Wade opted in, but now it look like Chicago want to waive him. Who knows what's going on, man? Who knows what's going on? I still don't think Houston have enough to dethrone the Warriors, but I see why Chris Paul did it. I seen people on Twitter. Let me just play devil's advocate space, because I seen people on Twitter saying, "Oh, this is going to be phenomenal," you know, because James Harden need the ball in his hand all the time, but he's going to be fresh for the fourth quarter. When they sit him down, Chris Paul can take over and do what he do and get everybody else involved. They still got Ryan Anderson. They still got Trevor Ariza. Those guys wasn't knocking down shots. Ryan Anderson is better on the road than he is at home.
Still got the 6th man of the year, too.
I mean, yeah, they got EG. But I don't know, Spade. We have to wait and see. I still don't think it's enough to beat the Warriors. And that's bottom line. That's bottom line what it comes down to.
But I got to disagree with you there. Because it sounds like you're saying if making moves is not going to make you good enough to beat Golden State, then there's no point in making the move. You still want to be better this year than you were last. That should be your goal every year, to continue to get better. So even if they don't get Melo, I'm not convinced that adding CP3 makes them better this season than they were last season. That's my issue with it. I don't even care about Golden State. You can take them completely out of the equation.
And I hear all that what you're saying, but if those guys at their age, if those guys ain't trying to be better than the Warriors, then what are we playing for? Those guys need to be competing for a championship. Yeah, this ain't Philly we talking about.
But bro, let's keep it a bean. Like, all these teams except Golden State, they are injury away. You know what I'm saying? One injury away. Let's suppose,
if I could be mistaken, but didn't the Rockets have like the 2nd seed or the 3rd seed?
3rd.
I mean, what's best? They meet up with Golden State in the Western Conference Finals if they get the 2nd seed. I don't know.
I'm just saying, they got to continue to get better. You can't say, you know what, we're going to wipe this off completely.
I'm not saying wipe it out. That's not what I'm saying.
It makes us better than Golden State. I don't feel like I don't feel like they're in a position to do that. Me and you said last show, we don't know if it's any move any team can make that can make them better than Golden State. So should they not make any moves? Still got to try to make moves. Still got to try to get better. Let's speak on this before we move forward. A lot of people were so shocked to see this happen, including myself. LaParis, I'm going to speak for you. We didn't even talk about this, but including you. Everybody was so shocked to see this happen that everybody started to wonder, what went wrong? Like, what went wrong? And a source, I hate to say a source, but a source came out and said that CP3 and Doc started to not necessarily see eye to eye. They say that things started to go south in their relationship when it was an opportunity to get Melo. It was an opportunity to get Melo. It would have required for the Clippers to send Austin Rivers out, and Doc shot it down. And that really lost the trust of a lot of players in that locker room, according to this source, including CP3. Nepotism is the word that everybody's screaming, man. Nepotism. Nepotism. The thing is, you got your son playing on your team. That's your man, 50 grand. Trust me. Hey, if my son played on my team, I already know. It will probably be some issues. But you can't say in one action that I'm willing to keep this team from getting better in order to keep my son. I just don't feel like you can do that. Doc's in a position where he's not just the coach of that team. He's also got some management power over there. And I don't know, man. It might be time for Doc to get his shit and bounce, man. And I love Doc. But hearing that, and I remember when that went down, and I think we talked about it on the show. It was like they would have to send Austin Rivers, and people saying they don't think he's going to pull the trigger because he don't want to send Austin Rivers. A lot of people believe if you send Austin to any other team, he down in the D League or the G League or the LMNOP League or whatever the hell they calling it today. He out the NBA. A lot of people feel that way. And Austin has shown us some signs. You know, at times he's a tough kid. We've seen him play with the bloody face. He's shown us some stuff. But bro, this might be a legitimate issue that the league need to look into.
This is I don't know if the league could look into it, but the Clippers owner, the dude that Steve Ballmer, I think his name is, and his name's Steve Ballmer, that dude need to look into it, because if this is true, I mean, let's be honest. Like Austin Rivers, like you said, he showed some flashes, but Austin Rivers ain't tearing up the NBA. Let's be honest.
Ain't mellow. He damn sure ain't mellow.
And I mean, if it's true, then I think maybe not fire Doc Rivers as being a coach, but you gotta take his management. You gotta take management from him.
I agree.
At least
a conflict of interest at this point.
At least.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, if this is true, then if you want to fire him for everything, so be it. But I say you keep Doc as a coach. But if this is true, then you gotta get rid of him in his management role, at least, because that's definitely not helping the team. Like I said, Austin Rivers is not tearing up the league, especially when you had another backup point guard in Raymond Felton. Come on. I just don't understand why Doc Rivers wouldn't put. I mean, and tell you the truth, he probably would have had more opportunity playing in New York. Maybe Austin Rivers could have been like, you know what, this is my opportunity to be the guy over here in New York behind Rose, or maybe paired up with Rose. Who knows? I don't know. But if this is true, then you definitely got to take at least the management role from Doc Rivers. Asinine. That's just insane.
I agree.
Melo, it's a no-brainer. Melo for Austin Rivers do that.
Yeah, it was some other peeps too. I mean, the way it was presented at the time, they wasn't making it like he didn't want to send Austin Rivers. They were saying it was gonna make them very frail at the guard position. Like they was gonna have to give up a lot of guards. If I'm not mistaken, they would have had to give up Crawford or Redick as well. And I remember you and I talking about it, and you was like, I don't know if Crawford want to go back to New York. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if New York even want Crawford back. But it was definitely some other things. Now, I know we need to move forward in the show. This is probably going to be a long show, so if you guys like to listen
they like it. They like it. They showed mad love last episode. They show love.
That's right. And we just took care of 2 of your work days at least. One other point about this before we move forward. This is the second time that somebody has picked up the weapon and aimed it at Austin Rivers. You guys, let's not forget, Big Baby just got through saying something about Austin and the fact that Doc look out for him, and Austin walking around with this attitude because his dad is the coach and he believes he can do whatever he want to do. Now, Austin debunked that and said that wasn't true, but just saying, this is twice. This is twice that we hearing something about Austin Rivers from.
Third time the charm.
Just saying. Anyway, let's move forward, man. We wanted to start the show off right. I don't know what the hell the Paris is doing with that whole Manny Pacquiao thing. Y'all know we don't talk about subpar sports on this show. What was you doing, bro?
You right, bro.
What was you doing? You might as well talk hockey. But
bad.
Since we back where we need to be, it was another kind of curveball that got thrown in the sport of basketball, and I'm talking about Paul George. The reason why this thing was a curveball because a lot of people felt like Boston and Indiana, they had something worked out. The only issue was Boston wanted to try to work out this Gordon Hayward thing, and then they wanted to swoop back and trade for PG. The Pacers was worried that, look, while Boston over here killing time trying to chase Gordon Hayward, we don't want to be left in a situation where we lose Paul George and get nothing. We want to make sure we get something for PG. PG has already, Paul George already let the Pacers know he was out. He let it be known, I got no desire to come back here after my contract, I'm gone. And they know that. So the trade for them is saying, look, we're going to lose this guy anyway. We need to get something. The fact that they knew they was going to lose him anyway, it hurt them in terms of being able to strong arm other teams in trades. You can't go in like, I want this guy, this guy, this guy. Those other teams are like, you out of your damn mind. He going to leave anyway. We'll just, you know what I'm saying? So it was about trying to get something to keep from getting nothing. And Boston might have shot themselves in the foot, which they seem to be good at because they wanted to wait until the Gordon Hayward deal got done, and in them waiting, OKC and Indiana got on the phone. They inked the deal. Sabonis and Oladipo to the Pacers, PG to OKC. Some people saying, oh, Westbrook finally got, you know, what he need. It's other people saying Westbrook had KD and that wasn't what he needed. How would this be any better, LaParis? How you feel about this trade?
Before we even talk about the trade, before the trade happened, I got to give a shout out to my homie Spade. This is why you guys got to follow us on Twitter. Spade, put our Twitter there and put our Twitter there. This is why you guys got to follow us. Because Oladipo had a camp.
Yes.
Oladipo had a camp.
Yeah.
And it was a little kid with the dribbles. He had the and one handles. He had the N1 handles, and he crossed up Victor Oladipo. And Spade...
And threw it through his legs.
Yeah, he N1'd him. He N1'd him. And Spade, in typical Spade fashion, he can see the future sometimes. I ain't know... he don't never brag about that. But sometimes he can see the future. Spade said, after watching that clip, he said Westbrook is on the phone with management right now saying, get Depot out of here right now. Right now.
Yep.
Not now, but right now. And like 2 days later, they traded Depot for Paul George. And I said, good God, Spade called it.
Yep.
Spade called it. Spade, this is definitely a rental. And a lot of the homies be telling us, oh, a lot can happen in the year. Paul George is a California kid. I see Paul George signing with the Lakers unless something insane happens, Spade, like
a championship.
Like the Lakers get LeBron James and Kawhi Leonard. Like that's the only thing I see happening where they won't. Paul George will be a Laker. He will be a Laker. I believe that. I believe Paul George will be a Laker. This isn't a bad rental though. OKC, you got Westbrook. You got Paul George. You got a guy that can instead of sitting. It's basically the same thing what they said about Houston. When they sit Westbrook down, Paul George could take over. Basically the same thing. Now the problem is Westbrook going to want to, the problem he had with KD is he going to want to defer and be like, Paul George got it going tonight. Let me feed Paul George more because he got it going tonight. We have to wait and see how that experiment work out. But I definitely think this is a 1 year rental. This will be a 1 year rental, and Paul George will be in LA next year. As far as Indiana, Spade, let me touch here. As far as Indiana, if I'm not mistaken, I think Oladipo went to Indiana. I think he went to the Hoosiers. I think he played college ball in Indiana. So it's kind of like a homecoming, maybe. Like I think people in Indiana like Oladipo, and I think Oladipo can shine out there. I mean, I don't know. Lance Stevenson was talking like Paul George ain't going nowhere. Did you hear Lance?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, Lance was like, Paul George ain't going nowhere because now I'm here. He was saying that to Isaiah Thomas on Twitter, but maybe they're getting Lance Stevenson. I mean, Oladipo at the 2. They done lost their starting point guard, who we'll talk about later, and I guess Lance Stevenson at the 3 and Oladipo at the 2. I don't know. We don't even know who's going to be their point guard. We don't know how that Indiana team was going to look, and it's crazy because we picked Indiana as a sleeper in the beginning of the last season, and that didn't work out.
And
now they done lost Paul George.
Yeah.
I just don't know about that Indiana team anymore, but I like that Oladipo is back out there. I think he could do some things in Indiana.
Okay, so you like Vic in Indiana better than you like PG in OKC?
That's Spade. I want to say no because I don't know how to answer that, Spade. First of all, the Pacers are in the East. It seems like everybody is getting out of the East. Oladipo could potentially make an All-Star game with Indiana. Who out there going to tell Victor Oladipo don't shoot? They done lost their point guard. Paul George is gone. Victor Oladipo, the only thing they got out there, him and Miles Turner. So he could potentially make an All-Star game in the East with Indiana. I don't know. It's a rental. I still don't see OKC doing anything in the West. So I want to say, yeah, I like the Depot to Indiana better than I like Paul George to the Thunder. Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
All right. I think I like PG to OKC. I'm not saying that Paul George is Kevin Durant. Let me make sure I make that clear. I'm not saying Paul George is Kevin Durant. But if you look at what they can do, they offer some similarities. Now, Kevin Durant, depending on the day of the week, I've seen him listed at 6'9". He's been 6'10", 6'11". I don't damn know. It just depends. He's somewhere in that range. Paul George is about 6'9", 6'10", similar frame. Can do a lot with the ball. Can shoot from the perimeter. Can put it on the floor. Yep. He can do a few things. And people saying that Russ and KD couldn't get it done like that was a bad team. Russ and KD was up 3-1 on the Warriors. KD just decided that his mind would rather, I don't know what the hell. I'm not even going to sit here and take shots at KD. I don't know what happened. I know that it was up 3-1 on their way back to the finals. And they couldn't get it done for whatever reason. So I'm not saying that Paul George is Kevin Durant. But I'm saying it might be okay. Like, this team might be okay. Do I think they better than Golden State? No, I don't. No, I don't. Do I think adding Paul George makes them better than they were last year? Absolutely, if you can get those two stars to coexist. And that's the big question mark.
That's a big if.
It's a big if.
That's a big if. Let's move on, bro.
All right, what else you
We
got?
don't got to spend a lot of time on this, but there was also another trade. Golly. It was another trade, not as big as Chris Paul and Paul George, but a trade nonetheless, and that was Ricky Rubio. He got traded to the Jazz. We know George Hill is a free agent, played last year with the Jazz. That don't look like he's going to re-sign out there. And they got Ricky Rubio. They traded Ricky Rubio. Minnesota traded Ricky Rubio to the Jazz for a first-round pick. Spade, how do you feel about that?
You know, I'm not a big Rubio fan, bro.
Me neither, Spade.
I hate
But
to
before
do
you
this.
go, me neither, Spade. But before you go, Ricky Rubio played well.
Better.
Better.
Down
Let me say
the
better.
second half of the season. You right.
He did.
Yeah, I'm just kind of like, I mean, let's face it. The big deal with Utah is going to be what Gordon Hayward does. If Gordon Hayward leaves, I don't give a damn if they got Rubio and
Don't touch on that yet. Don't touch on that yet, bro.
It ain't going to be enough.
It ain't going to be enough. I don't want to touch on the Hayward subject yet, but Rubio to the Jazz, I think maybe that gets Gobert a couple of extra buckets, because Rubio is known to be a phenomenal passer, always, in the top 10 in assists. I just don't know who he's passing to out there. I don't know who he's passing to. I like Burks. Alec Burks can't stay healthy. Neither could Rodney Hood. Rodney Hood could shoot the lights out if he could stay healthy. But these
and
guys
Derek Favors still ain't turned into what I thought he was going to be.
Yeah, man. And if I'm not mistaken, I heard rumors. It's just a rumor mill, but they was trying to move Favors. So I don't know. If I'm not mistaken, I think they traded Trey Lyles. So I don't know what they doing out in Utah. Maybe they said, you know what? If Hayward lose, we need a refresh button, a reset button. So we have to wait and see. It all boils down to Hayward. We're going to touch on that later. But
okay.
Utah needed a point guard. Kudos to them for going out and getting one, because it looked like Hill is not re-signing there. Spade, we can move on.
All right, we can blow through this one just as fast as we went through that last one. JJ Redick moved. He went over to the Eastern Conference to join the process, or whatever you want to call them, the 76ers. They look good on paper. A lot of people, I saw somebody tweet like, oh my God, Fultz, Redick, Simmons, Embiid, and I don't even remember who the hell the other fifth was, and they had tweeted that lineup, and I was looking at that lineup like, I don't know what everybody's so hyped for. Like, what we doing here? Like, what are we doing here? But the East is dramatically down. Everybody's talking about that shift of power. The Western Conference is already, they already was Big Brother, but during this free agency, we've seen more people, i.e. Paul George, more of this power go over to the West. Could possibly be even more, considering Melo has said that he's willing to waive his no-trade clause to the Cavs or the Rockets. So, in this East, I guess this makes Philly a really good team. I guess it goes back to what I said earlier. You keep getting these #1 overall picks. It's time to start producing. I want to see this shit translate into instant wins for the 76ers, or I never want to hear y'all talk about this team around me ever again. I don't give a damn how many lottery balls they get. I don't care about the process. I don't care about how great of a tweeter Joel Embiid is. If this team ain't winning 45 games this year or more, don't talk to me about the 76ers. That's what I want to say. Yes.
Damn!
Fed up with him, bro.
Damn, he don't care about Meek Mill dropping an album. He don't care that Meek Mill got courtside seats.
Nope.
He don't care that the Sixers sold out
on Safari. I don't want to hear about it. 45 games are better this year, y'all. 45 games from this team. That's my expectation.
Spade, you want to know what's crazy? I think they can get at least 40. Like, it's the
They gonna be 5 short.
What is with the shift of power? Why is everybody heading out west?
Everybody trying to team up, bro.
Everybody want to head out west.
Everybody got to team up. This the new generation. This ain't our grown man.
Man, you would think people would want to team up in the East.
It ain't much talent to team up with in the East. LeBron got his cap maxed out.
I just don't understand why the hell people heading out west. But hey, let me speak on JJ Redick. JJ said, I think this is where I want to be. I mean, you got 23 million reasons why that's where you want to be.
He want to be wherever that green at.
You got a 1-year joint. So if it don't work, you get to re-up again. You get to Spade. I talked to you
better go good
about
for him. If it go bad, that next one ain't gonna be no 23 mil for a year. You can believe that.
But Spade, you gotta. I don't know, bro. You gotta figure if JJ out there and he's spraying up, he getting some open shots. JJ hitting like 48% of his threes. JJ get another payday, homie.
But that's why I said it got to go well for him. It's got to go well for him. If he dropped the ball, if they drop the ball this year, that might be it. This might be JJ's last stop if it don't go well for them.
I think LeBron has showed a lot of these guys the blueprint. Yo, don't sign these 5-6 year deals. Yeah. Sign these little 1-year joints, 2-year joints with a player option at the end. Get a player option, not a team option. Get a player option. These little 3-year deals, when you play 2 years, the 3rd year is a player option, and you get to re-up and get more money the next go round. Or if you don't like if it's not working out, you get to choose where you want to go again. I think LeBron kind of implemented that blueprint. I could be wrong. Somebody going to correct me. I know I'm not
definitely one of the biggest names to do it, if not the first.
Yeah. And I think JJ said, man, I can't turn down $23 million for 1 year. And I'm JJ Redick. I can't turn down $23 million for 1 year.
Right.
So let me go get this bread. It's 1 year. I can deal with this for 1 year. And if it work out and we a playoff team in the East, maybe I can re-up here again. Or if not, maybe LeBron or somebody go out west, or wherever LeBron move, maybe LeBron will want to bring a shooter because LeBron know I'm at least a knockdown shooter. And if LeBron move and go somewhere else, I can get paid again. Who knows? But I'm not mad at. I was totally shocked that JJ got $23 million. Shocked. But I mean, these teams, the league has totally changed, bro. The league has changed, and it seemed like everybody is getting paid. We was talking about a guy that we don't have on the list, Spade, and then we can move on. We was talking about Ben McLemore. You was like, Ben McLemore got a measly $10 million, and I'm like,
for 2 years.
I'm like, that's pretty good for Ben McLemore. Ben McLemore could barely get off the bench in Sacramento. So, I mean, $5 million a year for Ben McLemore. I know he's probably ecstatic. He's probably ecstatic to get that money.
I just look at people like, Mozzie. Mozzie got that big old contract, and Dellavedova had like $10 million a year. So just to see that,
was on championship
I'm not saying
teams,
that's bad money. Your boy, I do backflips for $5 million a year. I'm just saying, in comparison, I
guarantee you, Ben McLemore is over there doing cartwheels and backflips off the balance beam. I'm telling you, he happy. He happy. But Spade, we can move on. Something else happened. We just spoke on the Pacers losing their point guard. It was reports that Minnesota was going to try and get Kyle Lowry. They didn't. They went out and they got Jeff Teague and also signed Todd Gibson in Minnesota. Your Minnesota Bulls. They are the Chicago Bulls.
They really
are the Minnesota Bulls. They got Taj back. They got Jimmy. They got Tibbs. They are the Bulls. I thought they was going to go after Rose. We'll talk about Rose later too. But Spade, they signed Teague. They signed Taj. How do we feel about Minnesota? This team that Thibodeau and the Minnesota management is putting together out there in Minnie. How do we feel about them?
I mean, I feel like they definitely trending upward. I mean, I like what they doing. I'm a Big Cat fan. You put some pieces around Big Cat. T can score. He can facilitate. I think he's an unselfish one. Like, he's not one of these point guards that is a score first point. Putting some pieces around him. I like Taj. A lot of people said that Taj was the heart of the Chicago locker room, and even in the little stint he had with OKC, I felt like he was an asset for them. I like what they doing, man. I really like what they doing. Now, if I know you like I know you finna shoot it down and say it don't make them better than Golden State, but it make them better than last year's Minnesota, I think. And they still got Wiggins. I think
this
they
is
got
a little different, Spade. It don't make them better than Minnesota, but this is a little different because they got some young pieces mixed with some veterans with that coaching that Tibbs bring. I'm kind of low-key a Minnesota fan.
You might as well be because your Bulls ain't shit.
I'm just saying. I'm not. Y'all know. I'm just kidding. I like what Minnesota is doing, man. Big Cat, a young player. I think putting Jimmy Butler with Wiggins, I think that's gonna mold Wiggins into a different type of player. That Wiggins have his days, but I think being around Jimmy Butler with Tibbs, one thing they say about Jimmy Butler is the dude work hard. He's tenacious in the gym. So I think you gotta have those guys. If you Minnesota, I think you gotta have those guys shirts and skins. I think they gotta go against each other because I think that makes Wiggins better. I think that in practice, Jimmy gotta defend Wiggins and Wiggins gotta defend Jimmy. I think that helps Wiggins. You already know I love Big Catty from Jersey. The dude is from New Jersey. I love Karl Anthony Towns. I like what Minnesota is doing over there. Jeff Teague. He had a solid year. He had a solid year with Indiana.
He's an improvement.
Yes, it is an improvement over Rubio. But I'm concerned about Minnesota's bench. But people said they ain't concerned about Minnesota bench because Tibbs going to play his starters 48 minutes anyway. He's going to play about 47 minutes. So I like what Minnesota is doing. We was kind of high on Minnesota last year. People were saying Minnesota was going to go to the playoffs. I think they can get in. I actually think Minnesota can get in this year, Spade. I think they can get in the playoffs. It's on me?
No, I'm just giving a ironic pause right there.
I think they can get in.
If I had that moment, it'd make you second guess what you just said. So that's all.
No. I think they can get in. I think they can get in the playoffs this year.
I think they should get in the playoffs, but I thought that last year as well. Anyway, let's move forward. Let's go back to the Eastern Conference. Toronto. Look, this thing was strange. I really, really, really didn't expect them to get Kyle Lowry back. Kyle Lowry came out and said he wanted out, which was shocking to me because they thought they was going to lose DeRozan to the Lakers. A lot of people did. They read up DeRozan. I thought DeRozan came back because him and Kyle Lowry had such a good friendship. This wasn't said. That's what I thought it was. I've seen them in interviews. They work good together. They kind of got good chemistry. Kind of like me and you got. Not as good as ours though, bro, but kind of like. So for Kyle Lowry to come out, I know he might have been upset. They had just got that work in the postseason again. He was like, yeah, I want out. I think he initially said he wanted to go to Houston. Did he say Houston?
It was a lot of reports. It was Houston. It was Philly. I think Kyle Lowry's from
That's
Philly.
What I'm thinking about. He just came out and said he wanted to go to Philly, which I ain't damn get, but I was like, hey, whatever. But it was known. He said he wanted out, and I was like, wow, that's crazy. DeRozan came back. DeRozan got to be thinking, man, if I knew we was out, I could have been out. I don't know. Right. But they ended up getting Lowry signed. He wanted his $30 million a year. They gave him 3 years for $100, I do believe. So he gets his $30 million a year that he wanted. They read up Serge. I don't know that this team has gotten any better. I'm gonna go ahead and keep it a bean. They didn't get any better, but it didn't get as ugly as it could have gotten. If they lose Kyle Lowry and not DeRozan, if they lose Kyle Lowry and Ibaka, I feel like you almost gotta completely rebuild over there. So it's definitely not as bad as it could be. But with a lot of teams making moves to get better, I don't know that Toronto got any better. I don't think they got any better.
Let me tell you what's crazy, bruh. I'm gonna tell you what's crazy. When I look at Toronto, let me look at Kyle Lowry. When I look at Kyle Lowry's one of those guys that seemed to me like he looked around the league. He said he wanted out of Toronto. That's what he said. He said that, and he looked around the league and he was looking for spots. And it was reports Houston, it was reports San Antonio, it was reports Philly. I thought Kyle Lowry wanted to go to Philly, but then Philly, they did their thing, and they drafted a first-round pick point guard. That's what they did. Yep. So Kyle Lowry was like, ugh.
Yeah. Yeah. So then Houston went and got them a point guard.
Houston went and got them one, and Kyle Lowry was like, ugh.
Yeah.
Now San Antonio was still could have been in the mix because there was a report that they was potentially going for CP3. That didn't work out, but now it seemed like San Antonio's going after George Hill. I think those contract talks have broken off, but we'll see what happens. But then, San Antonio been talking to George Hill, so Kyle Lowry was like, ugh. So, as my homie Spade say,
yeah,
I eat bologna too. And Kyle Lowry say, you know what?
Yeah.
Where can I get this bread from? Let me go on back to the six.
Yeah.
Drake sitting courtside. I still got DeRozan. We're going to be a solid team in the East. We ain't going to win nothing because in the playoffs, I disappear.
Facts.
So I'm gonna get paid just for the season because my money don't mean nothing in the playoffs because I ain't showing up there anyway. I'm on vacation soon as the 82nd game is played. I'm on vacay. So where can I get my money from? Let me go back to Toronto, and I think that's why Kyle Lowry decided I eat bologna too. I mean, it's $90 million worth of bologna, but he gonna eat it. He ain't want to be there. As far as Serge, it was reports that maybe Serge was going to go down to Miami. I seen a lineup. I'm going to just say it. I tweeted it. I seen a lineup. It had Whiteside, Serge, Gordon Hayward, Wade, and Dragic. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I said, oh my God, if Pat Riley pulled that off, but Serge, hey, that money talk, and sometimes as a player, you can't wait all the time because sometimes the money get ate up. And it seemed like a lot of people was waiting on what Gordon Hayward was going to do so then the dominoes could fall. But, hey, if a deal is on the table and you like, you know what, I got to get this bread right now, I think that's why Serge read up. But if Gordon Hayward would have signed with Miami before Serge signed, I think Serge would have been in South Beach. I think Serge would have been – go ahead.
For somebody to – I don't know. I don't live in Toronto, obviously. So Toronto fans, if you in the chat or whatever, y'all come through and y'all let me know y'all honest opinions. I kind of feel like Toronto rallied around Kyle Lowry when he was out there building a house for the third little pig that the big bad wolf can't huff and puff and blow down, just throwing up bricks. When he was asking the opposing team's coach, can he come hang out at his house during the playoffs and shit like that. I feel like Toronto backed this dude. For him to come out and say, I want out of Toronto, and then watch the places that he wanted to go, fill those positions with other prospects, and then ultimately return back. And then he had this statement like, I honestly feel like this is a great city and it's the best basketball city. And like, that gotta feel like bullshit. Do you think, do Toronto fans, would they still support this guy through his struggles like they have in the past? Because he gonna struggle. He had them struggle game. He's an inconsistent player. When he's good, he's good. Let's be honest. When he's bad, bruh, he's bad.
Yeah,
when he's bad, he can't get picked up at the why bad. He's bad. Are they still going to support this guy through those games? Because he turned his back, bro.
I think they will, because winning is the best revenge. And
That's true.
I think they know that we probably not going to beat the Cavs, but if we could make it maybe to a conference finals or, you know, I think they would still support him. But the crazy thing is, Spade, another reason why I think Kyle Lowry went back, because he was looking like, you know what? Who in the East, aside from Boston, really gonna be messing with us if I go back there? We got the Rose and they signed back Serge.
But he should have known that when he said he wanted out. See, that's what I don't like. They were still, look, bro, you and I, if I'm not mistaken, I think last year when we did our preseason rankings, we both had Toronto like second or third. I think we had the Pacers pretty high. We both had them top 3 in the East. So that fact remained when he decided, you know what, I want out of here. I ain't understand it then. Like, why you want out? You the reason that y'all run just stopped. You the one can't make a damn basket. Who you running from?
Shout out to our homie Canadian Raptor, a great supporter of the show, great homie. But this is, you know, we have arguments. I love the people we hang around space because we have arguments about sports all the time. We had an argument some years ago, and I'm never going to let Canadian Raptor live it down.
Never.
We was arguing. He was like, yo, Kyle Lowry is the team. And I'm like, DeRozan is the best player on that team.
Yes.
And he was saying it was Lowry. And this is why I think Raptor fans will still support Kyle Lowry because I think they still see Kyle Lowry as being one of their best players. Like,
and he is, but you don't think they're gonna feel jaded by the fact that
I don't, Spade. I don't.
They might not. Maybe that is a great sports town. Because that'll get you booed out of Atlanta.
Not only that'll get you booed, man, let me tell you something. That'll get New York, that'll get you booed out of a lot of places.
Philly? He talking about he want to go to Philly? Not like that, you don't.
I think that had more so to do. I think he went to Villanova. I think he may be from Philly. I know somebody going to correct me in the comment section, but I think that could be where he's from. I think he went to Villanova, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
So I think it got something to do with that. But when he, you know, looking around the league and everybody, wasn't nobody waiting on no Kyle Lowry, and it was upwards to reports that Kyle Lowry want $200 million. I don't know if he could have got that from other team, but I think another team could have offered him maybe 150, 180. I don't see nobody giving Kyle Lowry that. I don't know. But
I don't know.
He only signed a 3-year deal, $90 million. 100 million? 3 years, $100 million. So what, he getting 33 in the third?
It might be
still a lot of money.
I know he wanted 30 a year, and I know he got that. So
yeah, I think Kyle Lowry getting 33 in the third. It's still a lot of damn money for Kyle
Lowry. That's great money.
Spade, let's move on.
All right.
I'm gonna take it down. Got 2 questions during this topic, Spade.
All right.
Jrue Holiday, who I think we both like. I
I
think we like Jrue Holiday as a player. Jrue Holiday signed back with the Pels. It was reports of him going to the Spurs or maybe him going to the Knicks. He was, there was a lot of rumors surrounding Jrue Holiday. Spade, he ended up being back up with the Pels. One, how do we feel about that? And I seen people on Twitter saying Jrue Holiday coming back makes the Pelicans a playoff team in the West. Spade, talk to your boy. Let me know the actual factuals.
I like Jrue. I like Jrue.
I like Jrue.
But Jrue is a scorer when he's healthy, which don't seem to be that often. But he's a scorer. I still feel like this team needs a Rubio-esque player. You got them 2 bigs down there that can eat. Them dudes can damn near score every time they get the rock. I think you need somebody who is great at probably drawing the defense's attention away, but also being willing to dish. I think Jrue can draw the defensive attention. I don't know how interested in dishing Jrue is. Now, Jrue could prove me wrong. He could go out there and dime up all day. But the Jrue that I've seen, I think he's a scorer, man. And if he can stay healthy, he definitely makes that team better. I question whether or not he can finish a season healthy. I don't know if he has. I don't know when it was. But the West getting tougher, bro. And them guys ain't make the playoffs. I don't know. I don't see that. I ain't ready to go that far with it.
I don't think this – listen. This is not going to work. I could be wrong. I don't think Boogie, AD is going to work. I don't think it's going to work.
Really?
I don't. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Boogie is up after this year. If I'm not mistaken, this upcoming year, I think Boogie's in a contract year. I see Boogie kind of in Washington, Spade. I see him going to Washington. If I'm not mistaken, Bledsoe just got married. John Wall, Bledsoe, and Cousins was at Bledsoe wedding.
Oh Lord. You sounding like one of these TMZ guys.
Spade, I'm just saying
they was at the wedding don't mean they're gonna be teammates.
Yeah, bro. I'm not saying Bledsoe. I'm saying Wall probably like, look, bro, you just eat this year, and come on to Washington. And this is kind of let me throw another little speculation in there. It's been reports out there that the Kings offer Otto a max.
Yeah.
And you asked me off camera, Spade, should the Wizards match? Because I think Otto is a restricted free agent. I don't know if Otto even signed that tender with the Kings. He may have signed it. I don't know last time I read.
I don't know.
But the question is, should the Wizards match that max? No! If you want to try and get Boogie, I wouldn't match it. Otto with it, nah, I wouldn't match. And I like Otto Porter. But Otto with a max, I don't think so. I think if you Washington, the East just got a lot easier. You only got to really worry about Toronto, Boston, and the Cavs.
That's it.
So that means you are a top 4 team in the East without Otto Porter, I think. You can put Oubre there, and I think Oubre can give you what Otto gave you. Maybe not as much defensively, definitely offensively, I think. And I think you eat, if you Washington, you eat this year. If you Boogie, you eat this year. And then the next year, Washington needs to go after Boogie Cousins.
Now here's the official report at the moment. It said the Sacramento Kings offered Wizards small forward Otto Porter Jr. the max during their meeting on Sunday. League sources told whoever. The restricted free agent has not made a decision yet. The Wizards, according to sources, are adamant that they will match all offers to retain Porter.
I don't know
about that. The max offer for Porter would be in the area of 4 years, $106 million.
Shit. What's that, 20
That's about 26. Yeah, that's about 26,
27 a year, man. I don't know, man. I think if me keeping Otto stops me from getting Boogie, all my resources will go to getting Boogie. I will be trying. If I'm Washington, I'm trying to get Cousins, because I don't think what's going on down there in NO is going to work. I don't think it's going to work. I kind of think Gentry is a better assistant than he is a head coach, in my opinion.
Oh, so you gonna blame the failures on Gentry? If it don't work, it's Gentry fault?
No.
Ah.
I'm just saying it's on the coach to make that work. They traded for Cousins. They re-signed Jrue. Gentry got to make this work, and I don't know if Gentry the guy for that. I said that last year when they traded for Boogie. I don't know if Gentry can make that work.
You did.
I don't know if they can make that work, but I mean, I like Jrue a lot, man. I like Jrue a lot. I kind of agree with you. I think they need more of a facilitator, a guy that's going to dish. Jrue gonna go out there and try and get buckets.
Yeah, he gonna eat.
He gonna get buckets.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna have these bigs and these bigs gonna get double, then you gotta surround these guys with shooters. And I'm talking about wings and two guards that's gonna be able to knock down shots. And they just traded Buddy Hield, so
Buddy,
I don't know what's going on down there in NO.
Alright, bro, this next one is gonna be. It was shocking. It was shocking. Reading this one was like the day I found out Santa Claus wasn't real. Paul Milsap has left the Atlanta Hawks. The parents knows how I feel about Paul Milsap. I don't know that I've ever said this on the show, so I'm gonna say it right.
You said it. You said it.
I said it on the show?
Yes, you have.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Let me tell y'all how I feel about Paul Millsap. I like Paul Millsap, but I don't like Paul Millsap's game. His game ain't sexy to me, fam. Paul Millsap can go get you 30, and he won't have a damn highlight that you can do anything with. Like, his game is like your dad playing you on the hoop on top of the garage. Like, he getting buckets, but he ain't. Like, he's a star, but he ain't. Like, I don't know what you do with Paul Millsap, y'all. I just don't know what you do with Paul Millsap. I'm sorry, Paul. I'm sorry, bro. I give you your props. You can hoop. But damn if it ain't the most boring. He the most boring star in the league to me. I don't like Paul Millsap's game.
Atlanta was boring.
Who?
Atlanta.
Nah, fam. Atlanta got turquoise. What is it? They got fluorescent. They got fluorescent in their uni. All you gotta do is put fluorescent on something and it's instantly not boring. So first of all, take that back.
The Hawks were boring to watch.
Well, the Hawks already decided that they was done with the Dwight Howard experiment. Washed their hands of that. And Paul Millsap said, you know what, I'm gonna opt out. I'm gonna test my market. I'm gonna see what my value is. And I said, Paul Millsap, he'll probably get a little bit of money. What I didn't see was Paul Millsap getting $30+ million per year. How old is this guy? Is he 31, 32? He gotta be in his 30s. Look that up for me while I keep running my mouth.
Let me look.
The Denver Nuggets and Paul Millsap agreed to a deal that's gonna get him about 30 per. Millsap's numbers are okay. They're definitely not bad. $30 million a year for Paul
32
Millsap.
Years old.
How old?
32.
32-year-old Paul Millsap, $30 million a year for a guy who ain't gonna get you on Sports Center. Look, you know what the Nuggets need? The Nuggets, they got Jokic. They got Jokic. They need to make their city. It need to be fun. They need to want to entice others to come there. Paul Millsap ain't got nothing in his game that's gonna make another star decide he want to go to Denver. It's not gonna happen. And to me, this one shocked me, bro. I'm gonna shut up because I don't want this whole show to sound like I'm dissing Paul Millsap. I just didn't see Paul Millsap getting 30+, bro.
Hey, Spade, let me tell you something, bro. It sounds like you dissing.
I'm not.
It sounds like you dissing him. But let me just say this.
I'm not.
Millsap, I like Millsap. Like you
like his game?
Yeah, man. I think Millsap is a consistent player. But what I didn't like when I saw it, I seen it on Twitter. One of these analytic guys tweeted Paul Millsap stats and David West stats throughout their career, and those stats were damn near identical, and I didn't like that.
You. That makes my point.
I didn't like that, but
that makes my point.
I'm gonna say this.
Last time you saw David West on SportsCenter, fam?
I was shocked, Spade. I mean, we seen him on SportsCenter because he was a Warrior. They won the championship. So he was
an extra. He was walking by the back of that clip. I'm talking about his clip.
Listen, I like Millsap game. I just didn't see it in Denver.
No, you don't, bro.
Free for Reed. Get for Reed out of Denver. They need to send for Reed to Brooklyn, like right now. They need to send the Manimal to Brooklyn. That's what they need to do. Hashtag free for Reed. But I just didn't see Milsap going there. I'm going to tell you what would have been perfect for Milsap, and I know they can't do it. The perfect spot for Milsap would have been the Spurs. If they could somehow get LA off the damn books, it would have been perfect for Milsap, but
because they don't have highlight players anyway. That's what you're trying to say?
Yeah, I mean, it's the Atlanta Spurs. They are Spurs East. That's who they are. That's who they
no
are.
More, they ain't.
Well, not no more, but that's who they were. But I like Milsap. I just didn't see him in Denver. I don't know how Denver's going to make it work. I mean, Jokic at the 5, I would assume. Milsap at the 4. It looked like maybe Denver may lose Gallinari and Wilson Chandler. So I don't know. Maybe they're going to start that Hernie Gomez guy at the 3. But I agree with you, Spade. Denver needs to make it exciting out there. They need to be trying to build. Golden State Warriors. Where is Denver at? Is that where's that on the map? Where's Denver, Colorado on the map? They need to be building Mile High Golden State. That's what they need to be doing. They need to make it exciting. They need to have Jamal Murray out there. Steph Curry. I mean, I don't know if he's definitely not as good of a shooter as Curry, but they need to turn Jamal Murray into Steph.
Oh.
Yeah, they need to, because he can shoot. So they need to have Murray out there lighting it up. They need to scrap the Moutier experiment, get Moutier out of there. It was reports I think they was trying to trade Moutier to Dallas, if I'm not mistaken. I think I read that. But they need to scrap the Moutier experiment. I would like, it don't look like they're going to keep Wilson Chandler or Gallinari. So they need to
let Gallo go.
Say it again?
They ain't losing nothing in Gallo. Let Gallo go. I like Wilson Chandler. Gallo can go.
But I think they're going to lose both of those guys. But they need to get a wing. And they need to get they got I can't think of the little 2-guard name. Gary Harris. They got Gary Harris, but I think they need a better 2-guard, and I think they need to make Gary Harris their 6th man off the bench. That's what I would do. But they really need to turn that into like a Warriors type of movement over there, and I think they can be exciting to watch. I mean, they already score, if not as much as the Warriors. So, but they need to make it exciting for people to be. I love Jokic, but you know how I feel about Jokic. That's my guy. That's my guy. But I just don't know about Milsap with them, man.
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
Now, I can be petty, right?
You are petty.
Well, only on days that end in Y. Check this out. You say you like Milsap and you like Milsap game.
Yeah, I do.
So, me and the listeners, can you just tell us what's your favorite Milsap memory?
My favorite Milsap memory?
Yeah.
Come on, Spade. That's not a fair question. That's not a fair question.
Bro,
Milsap
I've been
Spade,
to games.
You can't hate on Milsap getting you
18-9,
18-10.
Bro, I'm not hating. I have a responsibility
just because a guy ain't
to report
jumping
the
out,
truth.
I can tell you, Spade, I'm gonna keep it 100. I can name a million Blake Griffin highlights that's like, yo, Blake Griffin jumped out the gym. Right. But I hate Blake. I definitely hate Blake new game. So if it was Blake now or Milsap now, I mean, me thinking it would be smart to go Blake because he's younger. But if it was like, yo, give me Milsap or Blake Griffin right now for one season, I'm taking Milsap. I know he's going to be there the whole season. He's consistently getting me 18 and 10. Blake got games when he get four rebounds. Blake 6'10". Yeah. So I can tell you a million Blake Griffin highlights, and I can tell you none for Milsap, and I'm telling you Milsap is as consistent as Blake Griffin.
Bro, relax. I feel this. You got this tension in your tone.
Because I like how you coming at Milsap. Milsap has been a consistent player in this league.
I like Millsap.
No,
I
you
have
don't.
gone to games where Millsap put up damn near 30.
Your whole little 3-minute argument was you banging the cannon on Millsap.
I'm just saying. I ain't see him get no 30 per. I didn't see it. I have gone to games where this man put up 28 points.
He got to get 30 points a game?
How was the game? And I said it was good. And they say, you know, what happened in the game?
I think it was only 2 people that averaged 30 in the league.
Bro, I'm telling you a story. And I'd be like, Millsap had like 28. It was dope. You should have been there. He had like 28. And they be like, what he do? And I'm like, he had like 28. Because I don't know. I don't know what he did.
I'll take a quiet 28 over a loud 18.
That's fine.
Or a loud 16 from Blake.
That's fine. Let's move forward because you're getting a little angry.
I got it. Hey, it's been an exciting show. We got some more for y'all. We hitting y'all in the mouth. Hit them in the mouth. But Spade.
Yes.
We was kind of holding off on the show. Let me tell the listeners. We was kind of holding off on the show because we was trying to wait to see if Hayward was going to sign. Hayward hasn't signed yet. Spade. So I got to ask you the question.
Yes.
What's the best landing spot for Gordon Hayward, in your opinion? Matter of fact, let me start. Think about that. Let me start.
All right.
Anywhere but Boston. Anywhere. I don't want Boston to get anybody. You want to know why, Spade? You just talked about a trade. They could have had Paul George. You know who they didn't want to give up? Boston didn't want to give up Rozier. Indiana wanted Rozier. Boston didn't want to give up Rozier. And that's what held up everything. Indiana said, you know what? We're not waiting on Boston. Boston is notoriously known for dragging ass. They could have had Jimmy Butler, too, by the way. They could have had Jimmy Butler. Boston is notoriously... They could have Melo, too. They could have Blake Griffin. But Boston is notoriously known for dragging ass. And Indiana said, nah, we ain't waiting on these clowns. We got to make this move because we ain't losing Paul George like OKC did with KD for nothing. But I want Gordon Hayward to go anywhere but Boston. I would love for Gordon Hayward to go to Miami. I think Gordon Hayward in Miami helps Miami, especially if they bring back Waiters. Definitely if they bring back Waiters. But Spade.
That wasn't your question.
I wouldn't mind if Gordon Hayward stay in Utah.
That wasn't your question. Your question was, what's the best place for him? Not for the Bears. Best place for him.
The best place would be in Miami. The best place would be Miami. Yes. Anywhere
the best
but
place for him is Boston, bro. Let's be honest.
Nah. Hell to
that was
the
the number 1 seed last year without him. That's the best place for him. They get some out of the West, where, as you love to say, don't matter what they're doing over there, they ain't good enough to beat Golden State.
They're not.
You sprinkle some Gordon Hayward in with Boston, they are instantly top 2 seed in the East. They top 2 seed in the East without him. We all know it was a fluke that, I mean, it looked like the Cavs didn't want the number 1 seed last year for whatever reason. I'm not going to get hung up on that, but even if Boston is a 2 seed without him, you add him, he can't make that team any worse. We don't know how him and IT going to work together. You know, IT wants a lot of shots down the stretch. He's proven that he deserved those shots. Gordon Hayward is also. This is the thing that's strange about these stars teaming up. Somebody's going to have to be, really not somebody, all involved parties are going to have to be unselfish and willing to do some experimenting. And all of these experiments won't work. But if we're being honest, as much as it pains me to say it, the best landing spot for this guy is Boston.
I won't say it, Spade. Nope, it's Miami. I would love for Gordon Hayward to stay in Utah, though.
Why?
But the best landing spot is definitely
Why you
Miami.
want to stay in Utah?
I think Utah's building something over there, man. I mean, the crazy thing is, like you said, none of these teams are going to be able to compete with the Warriors. But I like what they building over there in Utah. I think they got some nice young pieces. If Utah lose Gordon Hayward, they are not making the playoffs.
Of course not.
They are not making the playoffs. So yeah, you know, Rudy Gobert can tweet all this little funny, tweets all he want. You know, him and Isaiah and Whiteside and all those guys was going back and forth in the Gordon Hayward war. But if they lose Gordon Hayward, they are not making the playoffs. Believe that.
That's facts.
Believe that. So I would like for Gordon Hayward to go over there. I like what they building in Utah with Gordon Hayward. But if he leave, I hope he don't go to Boston. I don't want him going in Boston. Please don't go to Boston. Don't go to Boston. But I'm asking the supporters, what do you guys think? What do you guys think is the best landing spot for Gordon Hayward? Just don't be like, yo, Boston. Tell us why. Tell us why.
I already did that for y'all. Let's go ahead and move forward. It's a long show, man. We almost to the finish line, y'all. Hang in there. Derrick Rose is a name that I expected to. I really thought it would be more talk around Derrick Rose and what he got going on.
I didn't.
I did, bro. I did. But it's not. All I know is,
I've been telling y'all for 3 years. I've been telling y'all for 3-4 years. Y'all don't listen.
Bro, but you expected more chit-chat, right?
No, I didn't, Spade. No, I didn't.
I did.
Maybe Spade, you can't come out and be like, I want to be able to walk with my kids in the future. You can't come out and say that and then expect it to be some chatter and you coming out earlier in the year and being like, yo, I want a max. Go ahead, continue.
He did say he wanted a max. He started this year off saying this is a contract year for him. Of course, he wanted a max. Don't really sound like he's drawing that interest from New York. Nobody really even knows what the hell is going on in New York. New York might not have Melo this year.
They might not have their #1 pick either because he got hurt in practice. Go ahead.
Facts. Although I doubt this is the case, it's at least a small possibility that they might not even have Porzingis. We don't know what's going on. Fields out. I don't know what's going on over there. But Derrick Rose is in a meeting today, the day we're recording this, which is July 3rd, to talk to Milwaukee. I don't really understand why Milwaukee wants to even talk to him when they got their Rookie of the Year in Brogdon. I don't know if Rose fits in with those guys. I don't know. We was talking about Milwaukee likes to get these type of players that they call positionless players, which is basically tweeners. They've changed it. Now if you're positionless, that's a good thing. Back in the days when you was Darius Miles doing the two-hand bump on your head and you didn't shoot good enough to be a wing player, all I know is tweeners didn't really seem that good and positionless seems great. I don't know if Rose fits in with these guys. I don't think he's going to draw a max regardless of where he lands. LaParis, what you think about your boy Derrick Rose, your favorite player in the whole wide world?
He was. I love Rose, man, but Rose changed. He changed, man. I don't know what happened.
Injuries. Happened.
No. Because even after injuries, his attitude, it's his attitude I'm talking about.
Injuries changed his attitude.
No, Spade. Because even after injuries, Derrick Rose, after that first injury, he made an Adidas, I'm going to come back stronger and all that. Now Derrick Rose like, I want to walk with my kids, but he want a max.
Yeah,
like, I can't.
Injuries, bro.
Spade, bro. It's something about, they keep saying Rose is an introvert. He's an introvert.
True.
And Rose got all these mental issues. I've been hearing a lot from people that support Rose. And I like Rose. I loved Rose when he was with the Bulls. But when Rose started coming out and saying these things, I felt like Rose was changing. He was changing. And I mean, Spade, it's something about Rose that rubs me the wrong way. I can't explain what it is. But something about Rose, it's like he's entitled. It's like he feels entitled, but he's like, yo, I don't have to do much. I can't explain it, but something about Rose rubbed me the wrong way. I don't know why Milwaukee would even want him. Really, their point guard is, if we keep it in 100, is Greek Freak. So I guess this is why building up your name, it helps, because I just think Milwaukee looking at Rose and like, yo, that's Rose. Let's get Rose. I like Brogdon. They still paying Delly. But what money wise? I just want to know. I don't know. But money-wise, what contract is Rose going to get? Is Rose going to get $20 million a year? Would you pay Rose $20 million a year?
I mean, I ain't giving 32-year-old Milsap 30 per.
I just don't think that's... Yeah, but Milsap ain't out there talking about, yo, I want to be able to walk with my kids. Milsap ain't disappearing
3 times either.
He ain't disappearing the day of the game and nobody knowing where he at.
That's true.
I don't know what's up with Rose mentally. Like, if you Spade, Charles Barkley always say, if a player checks out mentally, then it's no point in him even showing up to the game. And I think Derrick Rose been checked out mentally, but he just know, yo, this is easy money. I can play basketball. I can get 14, 15 points a game, even with my bad knees, and somebody gonna pay me. I just think he see it as easy money, and he gonna keep doing it until people be like, yo, I'm done with Rose. So yeah, Milsap got $30 million, but Milsap show up. Rose,
you right.
Rose go MIA and nobody can get in contact with him. I got a problem with that, bro. And I used to love Rose, but in Chicago, I've been telling people like, yo, we got to get him out of here now. And people was like, nah, he'll bounce back. No, he won't, because something is mentally not there. I don't think he want to play basketball no more. When I question that in a player, I damn sure can't pay that guy. In my opinion.
I feel you.
In my opinion. I could be totally wrong, and Rose may go to Milwaukee and be amazing. Be amazing. I actually thought Rose was going to end up in Minnesota, but
I did too.
The crazy thing is, it didn't even seem like Tibbs even made a call.
He didn't.
Like,
he had no interest. So
Tibbs running junk up there in Minnesota, and I thought he was going to be like, yo, let me call Rose. Nope, he called Teague. So,
yep.
I don't know. Somebody let me know if maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm reaching, maybe I'm looking too deep into this thing. But when a guy go missing the day of the game, and your boss, the owner, and everybody trying to get in contact with him, and he don't pick up, I got a problem with that. I got a problem with that. But we can move on, bro.
All right, bro. Let's bring it home.
Okay.
LeBron James is Mr. Free Agency, man, for obvious reasons. Not just for the fact that he can go in there and broker himself an amazing deal that allows him to get money and come back and get more money and come back and get more money.
Yeah.
But he's also the king of free agency because he can make sure other people get money. We've seen him do it for JR. We've seen him do it for TT. We've seen him make sure players on his team, players he won't, get taken care of. If I'm not mistaken, when Tristan Thompson got his deal, Brown was the last person to get read up. Brown was like, I'm not going to sign until they figure out a way to get Tristan taken care of. Like, I mean, he said that, and if my memory don't fail me, I think Brown actually did end up signing before Tristan, but he definitely had, like, a verbal commitment from somebody that they was, like, it was in the process. He made sure it was getting done.
Yeah.
The thing that's strange this year, y'all, is we haven't heard from Bron. Bron is usually out there. He's doing his wheeling and dealing. He's trying to recruit other players to come to his team. The only thing we've heard from Bron during this free agency period is that he don't agree with the salary cap. He tweeted something along the lines. It was a tweet talking about the value of Golden State. I think their owners bought him for around $400 million. And what is it worth today, bro?
$450 million.
$450 million, and today is worth what?
$2.6 billion.
That's what you call an investment working out for you. And Brian was like, tell me again, why is it a cap? Like people talking about, you know, Steph's $200 million, he should be making $400 million. And then boof, back into the darkness he went, like Kaiser Soze or some shit. It's weird. What is the, I mean, I don't want to be conspiracy theorist, but I'm reading too deeply into this. Another reason why I'm reading into it, though, is the fact that the Cavaliers wanted Chauncey Billups to be like a GM for him. And Chauncey has interest in being a GM, and everybody thought this was the match made in heaven. It was perfect. Chauncey's not so far removed from the game that he don't know the ins and the outs. He's respected by players. They respect what he was able to do on the court. It seemed like a match made in heaven.
Not only that, Spade. Not only that, him and Dan Gilbert have a relationship because Chauncey used to do commercials for Dan Gilbert Company when he was out there in Detroit. So they got a relationship. So everything just seemed to click.
Everything made it seem like a match made in heaven. We don't know what was said behind closed doors. All we know is Chauncey was like, I'm good. Chauncey was not interested for whatever reason. And at this point, they said he's no longer a candidate. Like, it's to the point where, like, they can't even go back and revisit this Chauncey thing. It's a done deal. He's no longer a candidate. Maybe I'm reaching here, y'all. Maybe I'm reaching, but Bron's not recruiting free agents to the Cavaliers. Chauncey ain't taking that job. I mean, I got on this show and said, they was like, it's a chance that LeBron could go to LA. I was like, no way. It is no way you see Bron in LA. I ain't so sure now, bro. I'm not so sure. What does this mean? Like, I know we don't really know, but I'm just asking your opinion. What does this make you think? What's going on?
Well, you don't want to reach, but let me yoga. let me dial sim this situation. Let me yoga reach. Let me yoga flame this situation. Spade. Cleveland. Let me talk to Cleveland. Cleveland Cavalier fans. First of all, let me just break it. I'm sorry. LeBron's out of there. He's out. LeBron is gone. But I don't want to see you guys burning jerseys.
Oh, they will.
I don't want to see you guys disrespecting LeBron James because he brought you guys a championship. He brought you guys a championship. And if I'm not mistaken, Cleveland haven't had a championship since Jim Brown and them Any type of championship, I mean anything. Has the Indians won anything?
Nope.
We know the Cavs ain't never win one.
Nope.
I don't think they won a championship in any major sport other than the Browns. Like the Browns won with Jim Brown, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know about
how didn't get him one.
So I don't know. But I don't want to see you guys disrespecting LeBron. I don't want to see you guys burning jerseys. I want you guys clapping it up like thank you, LeBron. Clap it up.
Y'all asses up.
Because Spade. First of all, we don't know. But if LeBron said anything to Chauncey, like Chauncey, you gotta keep this shit on the hush, but do not come here because I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. So we don't know if that's happened, but if it did, kudos to LeBron and kudos for Chauncey for being like, you know what? If LeBron out, I don't want to take this bad job. Baby, I had conversations about this type of stuff all the time, and you be on the side of, it's only this amount of jobs. The guy got to take the job if he's being offered because it's only this amount of jobs. And I'll be like, I don't want my people, black people, to take a bad job because if it's bad and it don't turn out right, the likelihood of him landing another job is slim to none. You look at Mike Singletary.
Yep.
Mike Singletary took that Niner job. It was a bad job. It was a bad job. He took that job. Mike Singletary will probably never be a head coach in the NFL again. Right. Again. And I think after this, I don't think he'll be fired. But after Marvin Lewis, I hope he would. But after Marvin Lewis leave the Bengals, I don't think he'll ever be a head coach again. This is just what I think. And I don't even think the Cincinnati job is a bad job. I just think people ain't going to give Marvin Lewis another chance because those guys act a fool. They act a fool, and they think Marvin Lewis can't get it done in the playoffs as a head coach. Now, I think Marvin Lewis
go back, bro. Did Art Shell get a coaching job after the Raiders?
I think the Raiders rehired him back. I don't think he went anywhere else. I think after the Raiders hired him back, and I don't think nobody else. Now these guys, they get assistant jobs. They be coordinators. They be offensive line coaches. Art Shell been an offensive line coach in the league for mad long. Mike Singletary is a defensive coordinator for mad long. Like, they can get coordinator jobs. I just don't think they will ever be a head coach. And kudos to Chauncey, because you want to know what, Chauncey? You're not Steve Kerr. So yeah, you can be Steve Kerr, blow it up in Phoenix, suck, go talking TV, and then go land in a sweet gig that Mark Jackson pretty much built and cook and don't even have to coach. Chauncey, Steve Kerr take days off because of his back issue. You know what I'm saying?
And the team don't miss a beat.
So kudos to Chauncey. Chauncey, I want you to be a GM in the league, but I want you to be a GM for a team that you think has some potential. You look at Joe Dumars. Joe Dumars won championships and took Detroit to like 4, if I'm not mistaken, 4 conference finals or 5 conference finals, and they went to back-to-back championships, if I'm not mistaken. And Joe Dumars ain't got a call yet. So I got an issue. I got an issue with these guys taking bad jobs. If LeBron put that little bug in his ear like Chauncey, maybe he didn't say I'm leaving. Maybe he said, Chauncey, I don't know what I'm going to do. And Chauncey was like, you know what? That's good enough for me.
Yeah. I didn't want to cut you off, but I was gonna say I don't speculate it went that way. I imagine they spoke with Chauncey about the job, and if you're Chauncey Billups, the first thing you want to do is talk to LeBron and say, hey, I'm thinking about taking this GM job over here. Like, before I can even consider this job, I need a commitment from you that you here with me for the next 5, 6, 7 years. And then Brian can look at Chauncey and say, Chauncey, I can't give you that commitment. I can't give you that. That don't mean that he's gone. That don't mean that he's out. It means right now I can't sit here and put my name on that. That's enough for Chauncey to say, you know what? I don't know if I want to do this. I don't know if I want to do it.
Because that LeBron leave, Cleveland is a bad job, bro.
Oh, you ain't got to tell me.
Cleveland is. I don't remember who exactly we spoke on last year, Spade, but it was somebody. I said, man, that's a bad job, and you was like, you don't think it's a bad job. I don't remember what team it was. Do you remember?
Nah, but I remember the conversation.
Yeah, I can't remember. But if LeBron leave the Cavs, they're a lottery team. We've been saying it, and I know people going to get in the comment section like, no, it's not. They got Love. They got Kyrie. We've seen that dance already. We've seen that song and dance already.
Yeah.
LeBron leave, they are a lottery team. Look at the record Look at the record when LeBron have a seat. You know, last year with Love and Kyrie on the court. Look at that record. I don't think they won a game, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think they won a game.
Rough.
But Spade, I don't know. I don't know. It's a lot of speculation that LeBron, a lot of rumors that LeBron is real interested in Los Angeles. I don't know if it's Lakers, Clippers. I don't know. Probably Lakers because of Magic Johnson. I don't know. But if he told Chauncey, like I said, maybe he didn't tell Chauncey, I'm not doing it. Maybe he said, Chauncey, I can't tell you yes or no. And kudos to Chauncey. Because Chauncey, I want you to get a good job, to succeed. And if you take that Cavs job and LeBron be out, it's a failure. It's a failure waiting to happen.
You really could see Brian leaving though?
Yeah.
Because I can't.
Spade, I can. Spade, I can, bro. I can. I can. I'm sorry, I can. I don't think you would think these guys is not from the breed where what we were used to. We was used to Michael Jordan being with the Bulls. I mean, I know he went to the Wizards later, but that was later. But Pat Ewing could have teamed up with Michael Jordan. Barkley could have teamed. Them dudes wanted to be. This ain't that. This ain't that.
But I mean, at this point, what's left for, like, Brian went to Miami. He got a chance to hoop with his buddy Wade. They won rings. He wanted to go back home and kind of ride off into the sunset.
I don't know. I don't know if he wanted to ride off to the sunset. He said, "I'm coming back to win y'all one." He did it. He did it. He won one. So what he said was true. I mean, he went down to Miami. Says not 6, not 7, not 8. He ain't do all that. But I mean, if LeBron go to the finals this year, what's that? 8 in a row?
Yeah.
So I mean, if LeBron go to the finals again and lose, let's just assume he lose. I think the only thing keep LeBron in Cleveland is them winning the championship, and I don't think they win it. I don't think they win it. I think he said he was going back there to win one. He won one. I think LeBron could. I think he could skedaddle. Skedaddle without not even, you know how you be all sad, you leaving your homie and you turn around, you do that wave. I don't even think LeBron turning around. I don't think he turn around.
That's crazy.
I don't. I'm interested to know what the fans think. I mean, I ain't always right. Most of the time I am. But I'm not always right. But I'm interested. Do you guys think LeBron could leave Cleveland? I do. And do you think Chauncey is wrong for not taking that job? I think he didn't take the job because he didn't get a commitment from LeBron. That's why I think he didn't take the job. And I think that's a bad job without LeBron James there. Regardless, if they keep Kyrie and Love, I think it's still a bad job. I'm not saying they won't make the playoffs. They damn sure ain't winning nothing. I don't know. Spade, you got anything else to add? We can wrap this show. It's been a long, great show. You got to add anything else?
Nah, man.
Listen, man. Whew! I know I started the show off with kicking boxing in the teeth. Share your thoughts on the fight if you want to. You don't have to because it's boxing trash anyway. But anyway, I want to thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Strong Arm Sports. If you new here, bang the subscribe button. It takes 2 seconds. If you're a regular here, hit the like button. That takes 2 seconds as well. If you don't want to see two dudes arguing in a box, we got audio podcasts everywhere. SoundCloud, UPodOmatic, iTunes. Man, you guys show so much love on the podcast. This is just a reminder. If you don't want to type your response to anything we talked about, you can leave it. You can leave it in video form. Email us, tweet us, put it on YouTube, send it to us unlisted. Yo, we will put your video at the
for the show.
Yeah, man, we will put you guys in the beginning of the show for you guys to share your thoughts on the topic that we spoke on. Hey, this is your chance. Everybody like to be seen. I know I do. But we want to thank y'all for tuning in. We greatly appreciate you guys' continued support, man. We can't do this without y'all. Share your thoughts in the comment section about everything that we talk about on today's show. And we'll see you guys next episode. We out. Peace.